Social distancing often seems to break down in the one place we all have to go, and that is the grocery store. So what do you do? Well, King Soopers will start limiting customers tomorrow, which makes sense, but comes with its own problems. You can take fewer trips, but you're still going to encounter people.
Meanwhile, the people selling you those groceries are also worried about getting sick. Well, Denver 7's Meghan Lopez considers their perspective and a lot more in tonight's 360.
Every time you head to the grocery store, there's a risk. Maybe that apple you picked was too ripe for a previous shopper, or that cart you grabbed was used by someone else who was sick. Things most of us didn't think about before COVID-19. Risks you face as a shopper, but expose employees to as well. So is enough being done to protect grocery stores? Here's a look at your 360 shopping list of perspectives. You'll hear from the governor, 2 grocery store clerks, a grocers union, and the stores themselves about how they're trying to keep everyone safe. Let's start with the stores. Since the first days of the pandemic, shelves have been cleaned out from toilet paper to hand sanitizer. Grocers have had to adapt, first for the sake of supply by limiting items, and now for the sake of safety. Putting markers on the floors, cleaning carts, and reminding people to keep their distance. Many have provided special shopping hours for vulnerable customers or are closing early to give employees time to clean. And more changes could be in store depending on the pandemic.
We've definitely ramped up cleaning processes.
Michael Pellercells has been a King Soopers employee for 9 years.
I work the self-checkout a lot, and I mean, it's definitely a little bit more difficult just because it's a more compact area.
With a pregnant partner at home, he's happy with the steps stores have taken to keep employees safe.
At each register, they've added, it's a plexiglass barrier.
But even those safety measures have limits.
The barrier only goes about half the length of the register. It definitely may not be perfect, but I mean, I think as this whole thing plays out, I don't think anything's been perfect with it,
Some of his coworkers are doing even more, like having people hold up their IDs instead of touching them.
And just small things like that still let us do what we need to do, but also provide, a little distance.
His message for shoppers is please don't come in if you're sick. And if you're using the self-checkout and need help, give the employees some space to work. Since the first coronavirus case in Colorado, Governor Jared Polis has worked to protect employees and the public. In a March 24th letter to major grocers, the governor laid out a list of specific steps he'd like to see stores take. Then on Friday,
we're asking all Coloradans to wear face coverings.
Another big step in the name of public safety.
Grocery store workers and others that work in critical areas of retail where they're exposed to customers will have the biggest immediate safety gains from this decision to move to wearing masks in Colorado.
Governor Polis would also like to see the employees themselves wear masks. He's trying to help.
So we hope that we can also provide professional masks in many of those facilities where people are exposed to others.
But for now, he's asking the stores to supply the masks or employees to make them. For Kim Cordova, the president of the local grocers union UFCW 7,
and they just recently are starting to allow the workers to wear gloves and masks. That should have happened a lot sooner.
And the masks create a different issue.
Now that customers can come in, our concern is with robberies. We want additional security.
There's also more she'd like to see done to protect workers.
We need more crowd control or limits on customers coming in.
Some stores like Costco and Trader Joe's have already put limits on the number of customers coming in, and just Monday, King Soopers announced it was going to do the same.
We also need more transparency about those workers who may have been exposed or have been confirmed positive.
The quarantine is also causing some shoppers to treat the grocery stores like a gathering spot. For Cordova, the bottom line is,
the grocery store shouldn't be a place just to congregate. Some folks don't have anything else to do.
There is a lot of concern.
Former Commerce City Council member Steve Douglas has been a grocery clerk for decades. There's one change he'd like to see customers make.
To have maybe one person from the household come in and shop. If that's possible.
He knows it's not ideal and not possible for everyone, but for those who can.
To have one person from the household shop, that would help.
Because fewer people shopping means less exposure.
This is a new normal, and we have to look at how we're going to go forward with this.
No one knows for certain when life and shopping will go back to normal. Workers on the front lines are trying to find a balance between their safety and your needs. There are ways shoppers can minimize contact, like using self-checkouts, opting for grocery pickup, or even delivery services. But for now, perhaps the best way to protect those who are keeping our store shelves stocked is to stay home and only shop when you really need to. Meghan Lopez, Denver 7.
We so appreciate all their work. So, what do you think about this? If you have concerns or maybe strategies for social distancing at the store, please tell us about them with an email to 360@thedenverchannel.com.